The one that's coming out is the original, which was, for me, not a lot of joy in it. It was a point of view the director had, and that was up to him.
Ringo interviewed 2 weeks before the re-release of Let It Be on Disney+. Not exactly the most ringing endorsement for the movie, and in complete contrast to Ringo's high praise for Peter Jackson's Get Back documentary. I'm guessing that maybe it was Ringo who vetoed the release for so long. Peter Jackson's own view is that the two projects support and enhance each other. As he commented, Let It Be is the climax of Get Back, while Get Back provides a vital missing context for Let It Be. I've gone back to contemporaneous interviews given by all four Beatles at the time of the movie's release in 1970. As ever, Paul was the most enthused. I think he also speaks on behalf of the fans. Whatever the circumstances, Let It Be was essential, unmissable opportunity to witness firsthand how the Beatles created together the most sublime music.
We've done a film which is like very different from anything we've done. Actually, we haven't done it. The film was made around about the time we were making Get Back. They did a film here in Apple, out in Twickenham, all over the place, and it's like a documentary. You know, it's like a film, say, of a painter, and he comes in and sets up a canvas, puts one brush mark on, then eventually you see him finish the painting, and it's all that he goes through to get to the painting. Well, with us, it's just somebody walk in, twang G and C and say, this is how the song goes. And then eventually you see us finish the record. It's like, it's the stages. It's a good film. It's interesting, you know.
George does his best to talk up the movie, but clearly finds it hard to hide his own dislike, comparing it, with his unique characteristic humour, to a wart.
As far as the Beatles go, we've got the Let It Be album, which should be out in about 3 or 4 weeks. It's been held up really because the best way to do it was to put out the film. We're trying to put the film out in about 40 different cities throughout the world all at once, rather than sort of put on a premiere in New York and then let the critics say, oh, well, we think it's this and we think it's that.
Well, what's the Beatle film going to be about?
The Beatle film is just pure documentary of us slogging and working.
On Let It Be?
Yeah, on the album. But it was so nice in a way it was very informative. It's not really nice for me. I can't stand seeing it. But for other people who don't know what we're really about, who like to go in and see our warts, then it's very good.
John's interview with Rolling Stone was him at his most incendiary, no more so than when Jan Venner raised the subject of Let It Be.
In a nutshell, Paul wanted to, it was time for another Beatle movie or something. He wanted us to go on the road or do something, you know. And as usual, George, I'm like, no, we don't want to do it. And he sort of set it up, and there was all discussions about where to go and all of that. And I would just tag along, and I had Yoko by then. I got to do Across the Universe. Paul yawns, you know, and plays boogie, and I immediately say, oh, does anybody want to do a fast one? You know, that's how I am, you know. So that, year after year, that begins to wear you down.
The way in which the film was blown up from 16mm to 35mm didn't help anyone's perceptions, resulting in a dark, almost oppressive print. None of this was Michael Lindsay Hogg's fault. Let It Be was never intended originally for theatrical release. At the same time, Michael Lindsay Hogg was also confronted with trying to please all four of the Beatles, which resulted in the first cut being rejected and limited time and resource to re-edit. Let's not forget that Peter Jackson's Get Back was ultimately culled from all of Michael Lindsay Hogg's original work. So let's leave the last upbeat words to Paul.
Thank you, Michael Lindsay Hogg, director of this epic.